Hi folks, this is Rahul from MySmartPrice and today we are checking out the Motorola Moto X Style in detail. Let us find out if the Moto X Style managed to live up to our expectations in this detailed review. As usual, we start off with the design aspects of the phone. The Moto X Style incorporates a subtle unibody design which doesn't scream for attention. From the rear, it looks exactly similar to the Motorola Moto G3, only slightly larger in size. The front design elements are a direct lift from last year's Nexus 6, also made by Motorola. In India, the Moto X Style comes in two color options, black and white with champagne color accents. This unit, as you can see, is the black variant. The front of the Moto X Style is dominated by the 5.7-inch Quad HD IPS LCD display. The resolution of this display is 2560 by 1440 pixels, which translates to a PPI density of 520. The display is protected by a 2.5D Gorilla Glass 3 which has slight curves at the edges. At the top edge are the 3.5mm audio jack and a tray that can hold 2 nano SIM cards along with a microSD card. Note that you can use both the SIM cards and the microSD cards together. At the top of the front fascia are the proximity and the ambient light sensors along with the 5MP wide angle camera and a dedicated LED flash for low light selfies. The earpiece is also located here, which also doubles up as one of the stereo speakers. At the bottom, we have the twin Moto Active display sensors along with the other stereo speaker. There are no capacitive buttons. At the bottom edge of the phone, we have the micro USB port which accepts high-speed chargers of up to 25 watts. The volume rocker keys and the power button are both located on the left side of the phone. The back panel of the Moto X Style incorporates a 21MP camera along with dual LED flash. A Motorola logo is also located here. The back panel has a rubberized texture that you have already seen on the Motorola Moto G3. There are a total of 4 microphones on the device, out of which 2 are hidden beneath the speaker grills. The other 2 are located on the back panel. The Moto X Style weighs 179 grams and is 11.1mm thick at its thickest point. The double arc design of the phone helps a lot in the firm grip on the phone, further enhanced by the rubberized pattern, quite in contrast to the Samsung Galaxy Note 5 which we recently tested. The Moto X Style also happens to be water resistant and is protected from minor spills and splashes of water. Unlike the Moto G3, however, this phone is not waterproof. As already mentioned, the 5.7-inch IPS LCD display has a resolution of 2560 by 1440 pixels. We like the natural gamut of the display on the Moto X Style and the viewing angles are great too. Motorola has also used Corning Gorilla Glass 3 for screen protection. The Moto X Style uses Qualcomm's Hexacore Snapdragon 808 SoC. This SoC uses the dual-core 1.8 GHz Cortex-A57 chip and a quad-core 1.44 GHz Cortex-A53 chip together. It also includes an Adreno 418 GPU for graphics. In addition to these, Motorola also uses its proprietary X8 mobile computing system which has 2 processors, one for processing natural language and the other for contextual computing processing. There is 3GB of RAM available for apps and services. The phone comes in 2 storage variants, 16GB and 32GB, which can also be further expanded up to 128GB using microSD cards. Motorola has used the Sony IMX230 sensor on the Moto X Style. This sensor is a 21MP 1.2.4-inch sensor with f2.0 aperture. It has dual LED flash support for low light situations. The phone can shoot videos in 4K resolution and 720p slow motion videos as well. The front camera can shoot 5MP images and also has a front facing flash. The phone accepts 2 SIM cards and both can connect to 4G networks but one at a time. The other connectivity options include Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 4.1 and NFC. The Moto X Style ran Android 5.1.1 Lollipop at launch, but has now been updated to Android 6.0 Marshmallow in India. The biggest change we saw with the Marshmallow update was the overall improvement in the smoothness of the UI. While the update adds several new features like the doors mode, the app standby mode, and offers more control over app permissions and app links, the very useful Moto Migrate features has been retired. This in spite of the fact that Android 6.0 does not bundle such a feature with it. Another key addition is the ability of the phone to use a microSD card to expand the internal storage. In this mode, the added SD card will show up as being part of the internal memory, thereby enhancing the storage space for large applications and games. The disadvantage is that you would need to reformat the card again to use it on other devices or a PC. Motorola's notifications at a glance is similar to Lumia's glance screen feature. It is a really cool feature as it allows you to look at notifications on the active display the moment you take your phone out of the pocket. You can also wave your hand above the display to activate the notifications at a glance feature. These notifications are actionable and you can head directly into the app from the glance screen itself. Moving on to the camera, the IMX230 sensor on the Moto X Style lets the phone take great pictures in daylight. In low light conditions, however, the details appear smudged. That said, the image quality is miles ahead of the previous generation of Motorola devices. Our daylight shots, once we adjusted the focus accurately, produced some fairly accurate colors and the details in the image were intact too. Even the dynamic range was fairly good, and it managed to bring out the highlights and the shadows accurately. The great camera is however let down by Motorola's camera UI, which we felt was a bit too simplified for our liking. Also, with no dedicated on-screen shutter key, you will be left with lots of unintentional clicks before you get used to the UI. You can invoke the settings menu by swiping from the left corner, where you will find the option to switch to the HDR mode, the flash toggle, touch to focus and exposure control. The video capture settings only lets you choose between Full HD video, slow motion and 4K video. Pictures can be taken only in fixed resolution, 16 megapixel in the 16:9 mode and 21 megapixel in the 4:3 mode. You also get the option to set the timer for 3 seconds and 10 seconds. This is followed by the panorama option, which can be set to on or off. You can also choose the default storage location for the pictures and toggle the geotagging settings. Finally, we have the option to turn the shutter sound on or off and to activate the quick capture mode. The night mode, which was present with Android 5.1.1, has been removed with the Android Marshmallow update. The phone lacks manual options as well as filters for photography, and the fact that Motorola doesn't allow third-party apps to use the camera API doesn't help either. Here are a few sample images taken using the Moto X Style. As for the video, the phone supports Full HD and 4K videos at 30 frames per second. Slow motion video is also there. The video quality is decent with great color accuracy and little frame drops. The lack of optical image stabilization was however sorely felt. Slow motion capability is decent but can be a lot better. Here is a sample video taken using the Moto X Style. The Moto X Style's loudspeaker is probably its best feature. It is loud, sounds crisp, and the sound quality doesn't deteriorate even at maximum volume. The bundled earphones are fairly good and most users will be satisfied with its performance. The phone doesn't support FM radio, which might be a letdown for a few users. The phone depends on Google's default Play Music app for audio files. All our test files work fine. We also tested a few videos and even 4K ones played back without any hiccup. We believe that the Moto X Style is one of the best phones to buy if multimedia is going to be a major use case. The Moto X Style runs flawlessly, and in our time with the device, we didn't face a single stutter. Apps opened fast, heavy web pages opened and scrolled without any lag, and games ran at their full graphical glory without any frame drops. One issue we had with the Android 5.1 on the phone was the stutter it faced while scrolling through call logs. That has now been resolved. In our AnTuTu test, the phone scored a decent total but did not top the charts. The sound quality in calls is impeccable and we didn't face a single call drop in our time with the phone. Even in areas with heavy congestion, the phone latched onto network without any issue. Moving on to the battery life is the Achilles heel of the Moto X Style. On a single charge, the phone lasted us around 10 hours with around 4 hours of screen on time. Though we must say that we pushed it to the limits by taking calls for around an hour and constantly chatting on Messenger, WhatsApp and Telegram. This also included half an hour of music playback, half an hour of watching videos and a few minutes of gaming. The only redeeming factor is that Motorola bundles a bigger charger for turbocharging, and it only takes an hour and 15 minutes to charge from 0 to 100%. As an overall package, the Moto X Style is a great device. It costs Rs 30,000 for the 16GB variant and Rs 32,000 for the 32GB one. At this price, it goes up directly against really good phones like the Samsung Galaxy S6 and the LG G4, but still manages to come out trumps thanks to the promise of timely updates and the overall software experience. The only reason you might not want to consider this device is the battery life and the camera UI. So that was the review of the Motorola Moto X Style. In case you have any queries and questions regarding this device, please do not hesitate to let us know in the comment section below. You can also tweet your queries to @Weskit, which is my Twitter handle. Thanks a lot for watching this video. This is Rahul Srinivas signing off for MySmartPrice.